Hello and welcome to the Owatonna Today Show. I'm Shelley Whitehead. I want to thank you so much for joining us today as we bring you community announcements from your area. Another person, or group of people, I suppose, I'd like to thank our sponsors. These are the businesses that have stood up and said, you know, we like what Owatonna Today is doing and we want people to know that there's great opportunities in the area. So we'd like to thank our sponsors. And we're going to start off with our premier supporters. We'd like to thank the City of Owatonna, Express Employment Professionals, Owatonna Foundation, Owatonna Public Utilities, Safe and Drug-Free Coalition of Steele County, as well as United Way of Steele County. Also would like to thank our primary supporters. They include Amy Swain Hearing Centers, KODA Living Community, and Park Place Senior Living and Little Theater of Owatonna. And we couldn't do it without our interlude supporters. They are Abraham Consulting Technology, Brenda Bednar Mortgage, Glenn Meager and Tim Thomas of the Brick Meager Funeral Home and Medford Funeral Home, Brookdale Senior Living, Sterling House, and Clare Bridge of Owatonna, Carlson Branstad and Company CPAs, ERA Gillespie Real Estate, Fairview Animal Medical Center, Horizon Eye Care Professionals, Clancher & Son Landscaping and Concrete, Napa Auto Service, Owatonna Business Incubator, Profinium Financial, R&K Electric, Snap Fitness, Steele County Historical Society, Steele County Transitional Housing, the Third Hand Incorporated Video Productions, and TPS Insurance. Each one of these companies has stood up and helped us bring this information to you today. So we'd like you to do a little thing for them, and let's go in and thank them for their support of the Owatonna Today Show. Maybe give them your business while you're at it. If you are a business or a person who'd like to see your name up in lights in a way, you can give us a call here at Owatonna Today. You can call Leanne Alt at 390-5751 and let her know that you'd like to be a part of this team, and she'd be glad to give you that information. So we are going to have a great show for you today. We're going to be speaking with one of our sponsors that we appreciate so much. We're going to speak with KODA Living Community and a little bit about Park Place Senior Living, as well as a look at songbird banding that happened up in Duluth. So please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Jody Voisin with the staff at Fairview Animal Medical Center, your other family doctor. Fairview Animal Medical Center is a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
If clothing catches fire, stop, drop, and roll. If your clothes catch on fire, do not panic and run. This only fans the fire. Stop where you are, drop to the ground, and roll over and over to smother the flames. Cover your face with your hands to protect your eyes and your throat and lungs from the burns. This has been a safety tip from the Owatonna Fire Department.
The Owatonna Foundation's mission is to support community progress, and the Foundation has been doing just that since 1958 in the Owatonna community. By issuing over $11 million in grants, the Owatonna Foundation has helped organizations fulfill their goals in the areas of community, recreation, the arts, and education. Please consider a tax-deductible donation, a memorial, or possibly including the Foundation in your estate planning so that together we can continue to make a positive, lasting impact in our community. Preserving the past, building the present, funding the future, that is what your Owatonna Foundation is all about.
Hi, my name is Dave Olson and I'm with R&K Electric, where we provide power to the people. We're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
And we are back. I have in the studio with me Amy Baker and Krysta Swanson. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
We're doing well
today. Good. Friday, it's a lovely day, end of the week. Get a lot done this week?
Plenty.
Yes, always plenty to do, I'm sure. Well, ladies, I'd love for you to do a quick introduction of yourselves and kind of let us know a little bit about you and what you do.
Okay. My name is Amy Baker, and I am the Marketing and Development Director at KODA Living Community. I'm just throwing out a little recap. We moved out to KODA in February, and there's been a lot going on. So it's been great to get the residents settled in and their families and seeing them enjoying the space and the surroundings out there.
And everything's, of course, you know, whenever you move into a new facility, there's hiccups, but things are going really smooth now. You got it all figured out.
We have it all figured out.
Nice. Okay. And I have Krysta. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, I'm Krysta Swanson. I'm the culinary director at KODA and Park Place. Mm-hmm. So we oversee both of the culinary departments there, and we just try to serve our residents and give them more variety and more option culinary-wise.
Well, and I'd like to talk about that a little bit, Amy. It seems like KODA has decided to do things a little differently than some of the long-term care facilities that are in the area. So tell us a little bit about KODA and some of the services you offer.
Okay. At KODA, there is the 4 neighborhoods, and 2 of those neighborhoods are situated to take care of the long-term care residents, But within each of those neighborhoods, there is a private kitchen, private dining area, and living space. And then also there's so many features that are within the neighborhoods to provide just a home-like atmosphere, as well as increase the safety for our residents and our staff there. So some of those examples that you've probably heard throughout the course of time here as KODA was getting established to be open are the ceiling lifts and the overhead motors to help residents move throughout the rooms. And then this also is something similar within the therapy space, our rehabilitation center, just state-of-the-art equipment and a lot taking place there for our residents or guests that are coming in for transitional care in the post-acute neighborhoods. And that's within Kindle and Oak, and we have 32 beds or accommodations for the transitional care and the therapy needs that are needed there.
Have you been working with long-term care for a while? Has this been I want to ask this question because I'd like to know, with KODA and the new facility, if you've seen a difference in those who are staying within them and how they feel about where they're living and that kind of thing, if you've seen a mental change.
Yep. Well, I started with KODA, with Cedarview Care Center in January.
Okay.
So I was at Cedarview for 1 month. And what I've really seen in terms of the change from Cedarview to KODA is just the surroundings and the space that has been really beneficial for the residents and their family and their interaction. Being able to come out into a coffee shop area, the dining too, which Krysta will speak more about.
So just it's more family friendly in a way, and encouraging those visitors to come and make them feel like they are in a private space instead of maybe something that's very open and good. You also one of the things that's great about KODA is that you have a volunteer base of people who come in and make it run better, but you're always looking for more volunteers. Tell us a little bit about that.
And that's really, I wanted to have the opportunity to share that we are always looking for volunteers to come in and visit with the residents, spend time with the residents, be part of our wellness activities that take place. We have a wonderful team of wellness directors and their team, but it is always wonderful to be able to pull in new faces, children, to be part of that. And so I would welcome you to call our two facilities, Park Place. We have Carol Armendariz and Sue Hancock, and they are our wellness coordinators.
And and I'm guessing that pretty much any ability you might have, maybe even, I don't know, everything from maybe fixing car engines to, even just playing games could be something that can be helpful for some people, just to get out and do something a little different and that they may not be able to do now that they are living in a group facility instead of their own home.
Exactly.
Yeah,
having
good.
Conversations. Yeah.
There's been some changes over at KODA, and we're going to talk a little bit about that next.
Okay. Well, I wanted, are you referring to
Terry?
To Terry, yes. Terry Schneider, our CEO administrator for the last 11 years, who was very instrumental in making the move and making these changes out to KODA and helping with the capital campaign and everything. Terry has given her resignation, and we're very sad to see her leave. So I just wanted to make note of that because I know she has many colleagues and friends within the community, the families and residents at KODA bringing that attention, and at Park Place Senior Living. So we are going to be hosting a reception for Terry at KODA on Friday, October 11th. That's coming up in a week, from 2 o'clock until 4 o'clock.
Okay.
And there has been an interim director named. His name is Mike Schultz, and he'll be coming in on the 6th of October and working with Terry through that time frame from the 6th until the 15th.
Well, and we talked about one of the things that she's worked for and made it unique is the dining services. And I want to come over to you and talk to you, Krysta, about the Benedictine Health Systems Culinary Department. Now, what is the system that you use?
So with BHS, we have an awesome leader, our Vice President of Culinary Services, and he kind of leads each building as to how we want our culinary department to be. So we try to do an expanded menu, offer more choices, just giving our clients something to look forward throughout the day, and not maybe just giving them the same old meal every day.
Do you have a sample of what the menu might look like?
Yes.
Yeah, because I know you brought one in. I thought it'd be kind of fun to really take a quick look.
So this would be our standard menu, and every day we have a main option. So then they can pick the main meal, or they can choose off the other side, which would be, things like sandwiches, fruit, different desserts, salads. So it gives them a little more variety as to what they would like during the meals. And we find, that they do choose both sides. We get, a lot of people using the menu and utilizing it. Yeah.
And so being part of BHS, you have a huge wealth of groups to draw from, and you were actually at an event where you were invited because of your excellence in service. You were invited to an event. Tell us a little bit about that.
So every other year at our annual conference, we have what they call the Taste of BHS. So this year we had to apply, and there were 17 teams that made it. So we compete with dishes, and then we had judges we presented to, kind of like a master chef, kind of explained what we were doing. And then, there was a night we had the event, and there were tasting samples and booths we set up, and it was just a great event.
What did you walk away with yourself maybe that you can apply now to the new services?
Well, lots of new recipes, of course, and the camaraderie between all the other culinary directors, seeing them up there, getting new ideas is always a great time, too.
Yeah. And we were talking a little about this. Sometimes you have to be so very careful when you're working in a long-term or short-term facility, the facility that you're in, because there are so many special needs, dietary needs.
Sure. Yeah.
And so it's got to be nice to be able to commiserate with someone else who has that same challenge.
Yeah, and they have, maybe a recipe that's worked out great for them, and so then we can try that too.
Good. So how did you do in the cook-off?
We didn't place, but, it was our first time.
Yeah.
So next time, hopefully,
You'll
we'll...
get 'em.
Yeah.
Are you already thinking about maybe recipes you can try?
Kind of, yes, even though now it's 2 years away.
Yeah.
But yeah, it gets you thinking about what you're going to do next time.
So that's a unique thing. Well, so I would let you, really the important thing for you right now is to talk about the volunteers and getting some people in. What is the number again that they can call if they're interested in becoming a volunteer?
They can call 444-4223, and that's Sue Hancock at KODA, and then 451-0808 to Park Place Senior Living to speak with Carol Armendariz.
And it doesn't have to be a once a week. It can be as often as you can come in.
Very flexible.
Yeah, good. Well, ladies, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate your work, because I know it can be very demanding, and I just appreciate it. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And we will be right back. Please stay with us.
Hi, my name is Dave Efforts with TPS Insurance. We're here to handle all your insurance needs. We are a very proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
I didn't just want another job, I wanted a career, so I expressed myself.
I was new to town and I didn't know where to turn for a job, so I decided to express myself.
I decided to express myself, and they helped find the right career for me.
Express Employment Professionals is in contact with thousands of companies in need of quality employees. Come in now and get the job you deserve.
Express yourself today.
KODA Living Community and Park Place Senior Living are Owatonna's premier living communities for seniors. KODA Living Community, located on the Owatonna Hospital and Mayo Clinic campus, provides short-term, long-term, and rehabilitative care. It features private and semi-private rooms, ceiling lifts, and spa. KODA Living Community continues the tradition of providing quality care to area residents. Park Place Senior Living is expanding into the Cedarview Care Center to offer enhanced assisted living. For more information, please call 507-446-4946.
Hi, I'm Doug Johnson with the Owatonna Business Incubator. We're here to help small businesses start and to grow. We're a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, I'm Ron Clancher with Clancher & Son Landscaping and Concrete. We support the Owatonna Today Show, and so should you.
Krista said she got stung by
We're going to talk about why do birds move. Does anybody know why birds move from one place to the next? What's the main thing that kind of triggers them?
Food source.
Food, exactly. So a lot of these birds that are flying by, they're following their food, and they're not feeling like, oh, all of a sudden I'm hungry, I better go. It's other things that trigger migration, which we have theories about what's actually happening in birds' kind of brains, but there's still a lot of studies that are going on. Oh, we see a low sharp-shinned hawk. So
he took a quick dive at the owl.
that's one of the reasons why we have the owl.
That's
so
why
everyone always
bring
thinks
him
we're
in,
just trying to trick them, but it's not. It's to actually,
Bring
get
him in.
good looks at owls.
Yep.
So that sharp-shinned hawk is going from, boreal forest area, and it's moving down and it's going into Central or maybe Mexico or Central America. And so that bird is migrating at this time, early September. And by October, most of that species is going to be moving and head through this area already. And so it's no coincidence that they're moving at the same time that all the small songbirds are moving, because they are small songbird eaters. So they're following their food. And that's the same with the kestrels. So American kestrels that we see going by here, this year has been a little bit lower numbers of dragonflies. Last year, dragonflies were filling the sky at this point.
Remember that.
Do you remember? You could see there's a couple right here flying by, but not as many as last year.
Yeah.
And the kestrels, you can sometimes watch them on the wing, grabbing dragonflies and munching as they go. So it's no coincidence that they're migrating at the same time. They also eat, they eat other smaller insects, but they eat, rodents as well. So they're moving along when some of their main food sources are moving as well. So what triggers migration? Does anybody have any ideas?
Length of the day.
Exactly. So that's one of the biggest things that we know right now is triggering the migration, is just the length of the day. They're not necessarily cold, they're not necessarily hungry, but they're finding that the length of the day is definitely changing. Yeah, and if you guys want to, we can jump around and identify birds too. That's totally fine with me.
Vulture.
That's a turkey vulture right there. Did anybody go to the event talk last night? All about turkey vultures? That was pretty interesting. These guys are migrating actually quite far, and they have very steady migration routes. So one of the studies that they have looked to kind of figure out that these birds are migrating like that light is really what's triggering it, is they've had captive songbirds, and they've tried presenting, kind of keeping them out of the normal daylight time, and they actually get them on a whole another light system. So even though it's maybe the middle of summer, really, they have them kind of in this this fake light system where it seems like it's fall. And these birds at that point are showing kind of a migratory restlessness, like they are getting ready to go. They want to leave, even though maybe it's not exactly the right time of year. But in this study, they're noticing that these birds, they want to go no matter what. Even though they're noticing that the daylight is shorter, they're getting ready to go. Genetics also plays a pretty big role in migration. Birds have been migrating for years and years and years, and just that genetics has kind of passed down from the ancestors on when is the time to go and also where to go. So we have some flyways. These are the flyways of North America, and you can kind of see this is where Hawk Ridge is. There's Lake Superior. So we're on the Mississippi Valley flyway, and so these are some of the main flyways that birds like to take. They like to take certain flyways just because it's just like we drive in a car on a freeway. So a lot of the different birds kind of migrate and find their way in different ways. So passerines, they mostly migrate at night. Has anybody been out at night and kind of pitch dark, and all you can hear is just like little call notes of
chips
birds.
up above,
Yeah, and you can't even see them or
Right.
anything, but there they are. They're up migrating above, calling. And so the idea is that passerines can actually use the stars as a map. So they kind of find their way through looking at the stars, as well as using stars as kind of like a compass, you know, like as you know, the North Star going north, they can kind of have this little map that's been, you know, passed down and programmed into their head over and over and over, that they can orient themselves with.
What happens if it's cloudy as they're migrating?
You know, that's the thing. I'm not totally sure, but I think they also have, like pigeons and stuff, have like a certain amount of they can feel the like the electric feel of the earth as well. So it's kind of like a magnetic needle that kind of exactly. So they're kind of like this little compass that they can get pulled that way. Yeah. So cranes and waterfowl,
and it went in a trap that's called a walk-in trap. There's food inside. They go in and they go looking around, and there's a little, it's kind of like a little birdie maze. And they go up thinking they're going to be able to get out, and they get in a bigger cage, and then they just reach and grab them. So that's, if they worked at it long enough and hard enough, they eventually figure out that they can get out the same way that they got in. But it's a bit of a maze, and they're not going to do that very easily. So I'm going to weigh the bird between the wind and the bird here. Let's see. Yeah, that's about 45. So help me remember that. This is my brain. It gets going on other things and then it forgets. But we have to measure the bird and the bag because, you know, birds just aren't very good about stepping on the scale and letting us measure them easily. So we have to be a little more creative and measure the bird and the bag, and then pull the bird out of the bag, and then measure the bag. Then we'll have it. All right, so what was the number we were supposed to remember?
45.
Good. Squish it down over the bird's leg. It's going to do nothing but make a nice little round and close. There we go. All done. Have this number. All of the birds that are banded in the U.S. and Canada and Mexico are all managed by the U.S. Bird Banding Laboratory. So all the data that goes to all of the data that we take here will go straight to them, and they'll be able to keep track. And if this bird is ever recovered again, they will send a card to the person that banded the bird, which would be Hawk Ridge, 75 for the wing cord. And they will also send a card to the person who found the bird. So for example, if you're a bander and you're in a migratory pathway and you caught somebody else's bird, you would send that in, and then they would send you back a card telling you where the bird was banded and when. If that sort of thing happens, then we'll have that information, and we'll know that this bird lived at least from the 22nd of September until whatever date that they're recovered. All of that kind of stuff. So we start to gain information about these teeny tiny little birds that we can't get any other way. Things about how long they live, where they go, how long it takes them to get there. All right, for letting them go, you're going to put your hand really flat. So this is the table for the bird to sit on. And then you're just going to hold them like this, and on the count of 3, keep this hand flat, that's this table, and just lift this hand away. And the bird might sit on your hand for a moment or just fly away right away. Nice and flat there. Yep, just like that. Get ready with the camera. 1, 2, 3. Table for the bird. All right, I'm going to count to 3. 1, stay still. 1, 2, 3.
Look at that. Look at that. Cool.
How cool. Then we're just going to give it a little. It might take it a minute to catch up.
1, 2, 3.
Wow.
5. I'm not so sure about this one. There you
It's
go.
okay, buddy.
Hi, Warren Abraham Consulting Technologies, your one-stop technology shop. We support the Owatonna Today Show.
Owatonna Public Utilities, real people, real reliable, real progress.
Making life a little easier day after day, taking pride in our community, listening to what you say, a voice you can talk to. We're growing with you in mind in everything we do.
Owatonna Public Utilities.
And a quick look at what's going on in your area this weekend. Today and tomorrow it is Harvest Fest in downtown Owatonna. Make sure you get out and check out the sidewalk sales. But on Saturday, there's going to be a lot of fun with the farmers market as well as the Great Pumpkin Contest, excuse me, as well as free children's pumpkin painting sponsored by ProPet and OACCT. Check that out this weekend. There is Foundation Week starting this next Tuesday in Owatonna, and they're having their fall wine tasting on Thursday from 6:30 to 9 at the Holiday Inn in Owatonna. Tickets are $20 a piece. You can actually pick them up at the Owatonna Foundation's new office in the downtown area, so check that out. Mission Breakfast is Sunday, October 13th from 8 to noon at St. Paul's Lutheran Church in Meriden. They're serving pancakes, scrambled eggs, sausage links, juice, coffee, and milk. There will be a free will offering. Please check that out on Sunday, October 13th. The Owatonna Foundation has their non-traditional scholarships. These are scholarships for people who are in technical major or at a technical or community college. If you are an Owatonna mailing address or work at an Owatonna business and graduated prior to or with the class of 2013, you can apply for these scholarships. They are awarded between $500 and $3,000. The deadline is October 25th. You can contact Jill Holmes at 455-3059 for more information. And the Owatonna Art Center is hosting its annual art and fine crafts sale called Pastimes, and this is coming up the beginning of November. Artists are interested in selling their creative, original works. They can contact the Art Center for more an entry form. Please call them at 451-0533 if you'd like to get on this wonderful event that many people do attend in the Owatonna area. And the Steele County area is asking for you to maybe help out a little bit by donating some of your things, such as ink cartridges at Office Max and helping them raise a little bit of money for the Steele County Humane Society. So if you've got some lying around or just changed one, don't throw it away. Bring it to Office Max. Thanks so much. We will see you next week on the Owatonna Today Show.